Alright, sorry for that. I think I fixed my problem with the streaming. So we should be able to get back to it now. I'm gonna keep checking back here to make sure the stream health is doing alright. And also throughout the stream, just feel free to ask questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And we're just gonna go through this together, have fun, learn some stuff maybe, and keep everyone safe. So we're gonna hop over to AWIPS here, which is my program, which will be showing us model data, radar, satellite, etc. So we're gonna actually, real quick, clear everything that's on here. So, real quick, I'm gonna pull up the SPC's severe weather outlook, so we can see kind of where they're thinking we're gonna have problems today. So today is actually looking to be a pretty bad day for severe weather. You can see in this red area is a moderate risk zone, and for those of you who don't know, it might not sound that bad, but it's actually the second highest outlook they can give you, so it's quite severe. You gotta be very careful, and actually, within this, there's a relatively decent chance of strong tornadoes that we gotta look out for. So, currently, I think Storm Prediction Center just issued one of their first watches. Let me just check real quick to make sure we're still streaming alright. Looks like we are. Okay. Let me just reload this real quick to make sure. Um. Yep. It's working alright. Make sure we got. Alright. We got a few dropped frames. We're doing alright though. So it should be coming through relatively decent. Let me know if that's not true. So if we come over here, we can actually look. This is the Storm Prediction Center's website. I actually do some of my own forecasting too, but for now we're not going to worry about that because I think me and my forecast and what the Storm Prediction Center forecasts today are pretty consistent. I think we can find a pretty good amount of agreement between our two forecasts. Um, so yeah, in this red area is moderate risk zone, which is the worst area, and you can also see just recently in the last hour or so they've issued a tornado watch up here. So if we go in here, um, we can look at the separate risk categories. So the tornado category, worst is a 15%, and that's actually a lot higher than it sounds. It's very high. Do not take it lightly whatsoever. And it's also for significant tornadoes, so there's a 10% or higher chance that if you are in this hatched area, there will be a significant tornado within 25 miles of you. Wind and hail, similar thing. Very high chances for both of those. So if we come back here, and we load our satellite real quick. Well, actually, no. Let's first go. Let's jump to. Let's jump to our jet stream, and I don't think we need this gradient. So you can see the jet stream's kind of going like this, and right in here, you can kind of see these little squigglies in the lines. So right in here, kind of in this circle area that I'm drawing with my cursor, right in there is what we call a shortwave trough. So what that is it's basically a little disturbance in the atmosphere in the jet stream right here that's moving up this way, and it actually comes all the way down here, and that's going to strengthen, and it's moving up this way, and as it moves into some deeper moisture, which I can also show, here, as it moves into that deeper moisture. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. 1 second. Alright, there we go. Nope, that's not it either. Um, we'll just do it this way. It's fine. So there we go. Okay. So as it moves into this deeper moisture, and this is very high moisture, high instability in the atmosphere, it's gonna cause massive storms to erupt, especially out in this area right here, where the Storm Prediction Center had their strongest outlook. So, real quick, we can go to our satellite and see why they're issuing a severe thunderstorm watch. Usually, they issue those when they start to see evidence of the formation of future possible severe thunderstorms. So let's look at satellite real quick, the visible satellite. Again, we can keep these contours in here. See this 3500 CAPE, which is basically just a measure of instability. But if you don't know how that works, it's very, very, very high. Nothing to mess around with. So you have that in here. So we can come back here a little bit. Right now it is 3:05 p.m. Eastern. Real quick, we'll just check the radar, see if there's not much active going on right now. I am just going to go through a little bit of lesson with you guys on a little bit more why this is happening, what's causing the storms to be so intense today, and where I think the worst risk area is going to be. And eventually, as we move on, we're going to be keeping track of how stuff's progressing. And eventually, when we get some of those stronger storms, probably with tornadoes on them, we're going to take a deep look at them. I might even pull out some more in-depth radar. Might even look at them in 3D, we'll see. And so, a lot of learning, and we're also going to make sure that people know what's coming towards them. So, real quick, we're going to pull up any weather warnings. Yep, so we have out here, which is the lesser of our worries. We're probably going to ignore that for the most part today unless we get some tornado warnings. But out here you can see we do have our first severe thunderstorm warning. So we're going to come back in a little bit closer. Alright. And you can see that right there. Looks to have a pretty strong hail core in that area. So if we pull up real quick, instability, you can see it's just as it's moving in to this higher instability real quick here. It's firing. Now, instability is basically what allows these storms to form, what allows the air to rise rapidly, causing these really tall thunderstorms. The other main piece that goes into forming these massive, severe storms is something called shear. And that's what causes rotation and will also cause the storms to keep organized and become more intense. So we got to make sure we have that here too. So we can check here. This is lower level rotation, which I would expect right now to be pretty low. Yeah, relatively low. But it will intensify into the evening, and that's really what you're gonna need for tornadoes. And yep, like I thought. So right now, at least for now, don't think that it's gonna stay this way at all. In the next few hours, it will change drastically. But for now, I would say tornado risk, though not zero, is not super high either. But you do have to be very careful with the system in general, even when the shear is not high, because it is a very unstable atmosphere and you never know what could happen. We can also look at bulk shear, which is more of what keeps the storms just organized, and also what can help cause really intense hail and wind, and also is really important for supercell maintenance. So we can take a look at that real quick here. So you can see it's also in a pretty strong jet area right here. All this green, very, very strong jet. So that's why it's in decent conditions right now to be severe, and that's why the ones down here, although they also have formed more recently, for now, those ones are just in front of the strongest part of the jet, and that will change here eventually. So that's what's holding them back a little bit from becoming intense. So this one right now, I don't have super accurate radar, but I would give you a pretty good bet right here that you can be expecting some pretty massive hail in that. Maybe inch, maybe even 2 inches. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell because I don't have super detailed radar up at the moment. Let's see. I'm not sure. This is a new product I'm using right here. It's called Simu AWIPS. So I'm still learning to use it a little bit. Usually I just use for models. I just use Pivotal Weather. So yeah, if we pull up the severe weather warnings again, I'm not sure if I can click on it or not. It doesn't appear that you can. What I can do though, and you guys won't be able to see it at least for now. I might take a little break here sometime in the near future, so that I can show you my phone screen as well, as it has some radar. It has a radar scope installed on it, which is very good application. I would say second only to GR2 Analyst, which I also have. However, it is on a computer right now that is being worked on. But in future episodes here, we'll have that back again. That's what will allow us to see storms even in 3D. So I'm just real quick on my phone checking that severe warning that we're looking at right now. See how intense that is. It is in effect for northeastern Baca County, located near Springfield. So watch out. Yep, and I was correct. Storm chasers have reported 1.25 inch hail in Springfield, Colorado. 1.25 inch. So imagine that. That's very big. That'll go right through your windshield, no problem. And they're saying that there could be even hail up to 2 inches in the storm with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Again, you want to take this whole event very seriously. This is just the start. All the right conditions haven't even really started to come together yet. This one up here is just the first little blossom of what we're going to have in droves later. There's going to be tons of storms. Hail, maybe 3, even 4 inches if we get the perfect storm. It's going to be a very dangerous situation out there, not to mention all the tornadoes we could be having. So we're going to keep a close eye on it real quick and throughout the night. So, yeah, but definitely anyone in the path of this storm. Oh, and we have another severe thunderstorm warning just issued down here. And again, you can see just as it's entering that stronger part of that jet, we're starting to get rapidly intensifying severe storms. So I'll check this one again real quick. And after I check this one, I'm going to see if I can I'm going to take a quick break and see if I can get my phone to show up on the stream, because I think that'll be very helpful. So I'm just checking out this storm real quick. Somewhat farther away from the radar. So it is in just at far northern Texas, right near the border, just north of Delhart, heading northeast, and it has been issued. Let's see here. They're saying $half size hail, so again, maybe 2, even 3 inches. So be very careful with the storm. The storm just went severe, just like that. Yep, hail 1.5 inches and greater than 50-mile-per-hour winds. So keep a close eye out for that. I'll be back within 5 minutes. Real quick, I'm gonna go try and see if I can get my radar going up on here too. If not, not a big deal. I'll figure something else out. But just give me 5 minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We did figure out how to show the radar. So we do have the radar up here now on the right side of the screen. Extremely detailed, and I can show you the warning text and everything like that now too, which is great. So this is the one I believe in northern Texas. Yep, northern Texas. Um, so you can take a look at it here. And scroll down here, you see it is hail to 1.25 inches. And with the one up here, which in my opinion is even more dangerous, switch radar real quick, and it's on the edge of the radar sight too, and you can still tell it's an extremely intense storm. If you go to the one here, if it loads, oh, that's why, duh. So you go to the one here. Come on. There we go. All right, so you can see just past Springfield, probably heading northeast. That's how they're going to be heading today. 16-mile-per-hour wind gusts and $half size hail. And this isn't a tornado watch, so you always got to be careful that be in shelter, because you never know what's going to happen here. We can check for rotation real quick. Probably won't see much just because it's on the edge of. And yeah, I mean, it looks a little bit iffy, but it always is gonna look iffy when it's that high up in the storm. Be a lot better when it moves farther into the radar sights. If we check back here on the computer now, I kind of want to go back to satellite view, maybe look at infrared too, and get an idea of kind of more of what's forming here, because there should be a really rapid firing up of storms here in the next 2 hours. Really, by 5 p.m. I think they'll be full blown. I'm actually a little bit surprised about how early they came up, so see if that affects anything here. So you can see now these storms with the severe thunderstorm warnings almost casting shadows on the clouds below as they are getting much taller. And you can see how those fired up really quickly. Ready? There you go, just like that. Right here at 1:30, nothing. And then you got really, by half an hour later, you got some full-blown thunderstorms here. And you can see the columns actually right there. And eventually here you're going to start seeing the anvils just fanning out this way with the intense upper level jet. Let's look at this with infrared real quick. See what we're seeing. So yeah, you can see they're starting to become more intense, especially this one, a lot more intense, I would say. But there's still nothing compared to what they will be here down the road. And it'll be very interesting to see. We're going to look real quick here at the models and see how we expect the atmosphere to change here. So right now I'm going to show you future radar, show you kind of what the thing is going to come up here. So it's loading real quick. And when it does come up here, it should be showing what the radar should look like at 5 p.m. So in an hour and a half. And that's a weird. No, that's why I chose the wrong. My apologies, I chose the wrong model. Let's try this again. Alright, composite reflectivity. Alright, so here we go. This is for 3, which has already happened. Moving forward to 4, you can see those becoming a little bit more intense. And the short waves already starting to intensify a little bit. By 5 p.m. is really when it's going to really pick up steam and be moving into this area, causing very intense storms. So if we move forward to 5 p.m. here, you can see that actually showing a little bit more of a line characteristic here now. which not quite sure about. That it's definitely not what it was shown earlier. But if that does happen, it would be good, as it will lower the tornado threat definitely. Moving forward here. Oh, 22. Okay. That's about as far as goes. We're going to go to a different model site real quick because I want to get a better view of what it's thinking real quick. So we're going to go to Pivotal Weather, which is my favorite model's website. Make sure everything's going fine over here. Oh, great. It's not. Lovely. Real great.